If you're a low-time pilot who hasn't reached airline pilot hiring minimums yet, or you're already an experienced flight instructor who's looking for that first professional flying job, well, in this video, I actually have a low-time airline pilot job that you might be interested in. So, hey, I'm Dr. Andy Moltar. I'm a flight instructor, a CFI IIMEI. I used to be a corporate pilot, and now I'm a professor of aviation. In this video, I've got a low-time airline pilot job that you could actually qualify for. So before I show you that, real quick, I just want to show you my website, moltaraviation.com. And so on this website, I have a whole bunch of resources for you. I have all the pilot gear I recommend, some different pilot videos that you might want to watch, different pilot resources that are good for anybody that's a pilot, and then this low time pilot job section. So in this low time pilot job section, I have all these different videos here that are, all the different low time pilot jobs that I've already come up with. And so if you haven't already seen them, make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified every time I come out with a new video. But yeah, so you come to this web page, you watch the video, and then the title of each video is the company and their hiring website. So, when I made these videos, they were hiring, but maybe right now they're not. But just always go back and check. There's a good resource to look at all these different companies that hire low-time pilots. And so you just click on the title of the video, and you'll see whether they're still hiring or not. And after this video gets published, I'll go back and change this to add this new company. So the company I want to tell you about is JSX. Now I'm going to tell you what JSX is, the job that you can get as a first officer, what the minimums are, and how much you can get paid. And so JSX, they like to call themselves a hop-on public charter, but for all intents and purposes, they are a Part 135 commuter airline. And so, this will look great on your resume because you're getting those kind of operations that the airlines like to see, and it's more than just flight instructing. Now, as I'll always say, I highly recommend you become a flight instructor. Teach for a little bit. It helps you gain the flight time you're going to need. In a really fast amount of time. But I understand flight instructing is not for everybody. So JSX is an option that you could pursue when you meet their hiring minimums, which I'll tell you here in a little bit. And so JSX, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where they fly. And so you can see that they fly on the primarily on the West Coast, around like California, Las Vegas, and so on. But they also fly a little bit to the, Texas, the Midwest, and then a lot on the East Coast there. And so if you're wondering what kind of airplanes they fly, well, they fly the Embraer 145, the Embraer 135, and the turboprop, the ATR 42. Now, each of these aircraft seat 30 passengers, and, I know I've made videos in the past about like commuter airline jobs. JSX really sets themselves apart. They're like a first class, business class version of a commuter airline. Passengers only have to show up like 20 minutes before their flight, and it's a pretty bougie experience for a commuter airline. So you can imagine those customers are paying a little bit more than they normally would for an airline flight, but they're not paying the exorbitant cost of chartering their own jet. And so it's a great deal for the passengers, and they had the opportunities for you, a low time pilot, to get a job with them. And so when you're on their website, you can just scroll basically anywhere, and you go all the way down to their page. And on the bottom left side of the page, under our company, you'll see that careers button that you can click on. It'll take you to their website. And so you just hit the explore careers button, and it'll take you here. And so here we go. We've got 4 different jobs that are currently available. And so, if you're watching this video, you're probably not already, eligible to be a captain. But so we'll scroll down, and you'll see that they have a position for first officer on the West Coast. And so here we go. So as you scroll down, you'll see that there's 4 bases that you can be based out of: Burbank, California, Oakland, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Santa Ana, California. And then you just keep on scrolling down. And so you'll see a lot of, there's a lot of text here that you can read on your own, but some things I wanted to point out. So they say that their typical schedules average 3 to 5 legs per day over 14 to 16 days per month. and that they do prioritize work-life balance so that they strive to have you home to your base every night. And so, I mean, it's not guaranteed. You might spend a night or two in a hotel, but they really do try to get you back to your home base every night. Now, my guess is because they want to save money on hotels, but I mean, if you have a family, this is a great option for you. And then you just keep scrolling down, and you'll get down to their required experience section. So here, you don't have to have a college degree, just high school diploma, a minimum of 800 hours flight time, 50 hours multi-engine, and 100 hours within the last 12 months. And then also no significant training check ride failures. So how many is that? I don't know. But if you've got two or more, I mean, apply anyways. The worst I can say is no, but give them a shot. Now they do have their preferred experience, and so if you don't meet the preferred experience requirement, still apply. You never know. But if you already do meet their 1,000 hours of total time and have some turbine experience already, man, you're gonna be a standout candidate. But like I said, if you don't already have that, well, apply anyways. And so if you keep scrolling down, you'll see the compensation here. And so the compensation throughout your training is $150 per day, or plus per diem per day. And then it goes up to $176 to $259 daily when you're actually on the line flying. And that's with a 14-day minimum per month salary. So, if you only fly the 14 days a month, I mean, you're looking at, around $30,000 plus per diem. And that's the minimum at the $176 per day. I'm sure over time you get raises and eventually you make that $259 per day. That's probably with captain upgrades and so on. I'm assuming, I don't know, I've never worked there. But you can go to Airline Pilot Central for more information on that. Hey guys, so I was in the middle of editing my video and I decided not to be lazy and go to Airline Pilot Central for you. All right, I'm glad I did. So, when you look at their website, so Airline Pilot Central, if you don't already know what that is, Airline Pilot Central is a great website to research any operator that you're possibly interested in working for. They'll have a lot of useful information for you to help you decide if that's somewhere you want to work. And so looking at JSX, I already see this right here. It says a $15,000 sign-on bonus. Now, I didn't see that on their careers website, so I don't know how much I trust that. But there's other perks here. So non-revenue standby travel on JSX, JetBlue, Southwest Airlines. Well, Spirit Airlines doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, and many more domestic and international carriers. Now, as a pilot once told me, I wouldn't wish standby my worst enemy. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's that great of a benefit, just because standby, the airlines have gotten really good at maximizing the efficiency of their routes, and so the chance of you getting standby tickets is kind of nil. So I wouldn't want to commute to my base. But other things, so you can be a part of CAS, KCM, and then as we scroll down, we see their bases. So you could be based at BNA, Dallas, that's Dallas Love, Oakland, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Burbank, California. And so are they hiring? Yes, they are. I just showed you that. And then as you keep scrolling down, there's those minimums that I told you about. And then we keep scrolling down. Now we're getting down to the pay. And so, if you have less than that 1,000 hours total time, you'll be making $160 per day. And then once you have over 1,000 hours, then your first year pay is going to be $259 a day. So that's a lot better. And so at a rate of $259 per day, you're looking at a salary of about $43,000, 43,500 per year, and that's without per diem. So if you save your per diem, then that's a little extra. And then once you get promoted to captain, then you're making $630 per day, and that's at the minimum 14. You're getting paid 14 days a month for 12 months of the year. Then that $630 is $105,840 per year. And so if you work more than that 14 days, well, then you get more. And so it looks like the pay can be all right, for the beginning of your career, and then eventually you'll probably want to go on to a bigger airline, and so that's okay. But it looks like you can actually make all right money. All right, now I'm gonna go back to the video. But yeah, so I mean, it's not the greatest salary, but I mean, for an entry level pilot job in the world of professional flying, I mean, this is a great opportunity. And so, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I read all the comments and I reply to all of them. And yeah, thanks for watching. You have a great day.